I'm Chef Gabe, and this is Under the Hood. What we have here, guys, is 2 cuts in 1. So we have the eye of the ribeye, also called the Spencer steak. We have the crescent, which is the top of the ribeye, also called the market steak. Sous vide is a foolproof way to cook medium rare, and searing is a great way to cook a thin piece of meat. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna sous vide the eye of our ribeye. Now you can use a pot or a plastic container just like us. You can get a sous vide machine anywhere now. We're gonna set our sous vide machine to 132 Fahrenheit. Here at the restaurant, we use a vacuum sealed machine, but at home, you just need a freezer bag, Ziploc bag, and you're just gonna put it into the bag. And I rolled up the corners so you don't get the corners nice and dirty. A little salt and pepper, a little bit of oil. And now we're gonna push in the vacuum sealer and let the water push out all the air, a little clip, and there you go. And we'll check in about an hour. Now this is absolutely perfectly cooked to temp. We could eat this right now if you want to, but we're gonna add a crust to it. First thing you need is a hot pan. So a nice little thin layer of oil. Then we're gonna add a little more salt and pepper, just a little bit, both sides. And once our pan starts to have a little smoke, we wanna get that perfect sear. It's called the Maillard effect. Once you hear that sizzle, you know you did it right. If you wanted to impart a little bit of flavor, you could crack a piece of garlic, add a little rosemary, sprig, maybe a little thyme, and you could start basting it with the oil that you have in the pan. And you could just push down to it, make sure both sides are nice and golden. It's gonna take about 2 to 3 minutes on both sides. Don't be afraid about overcooking. The sous vide did all the work for you. All you're doing is finishing. So let's flip it. As you can see, nice golden brown compared to that side. Now let's do that other side. Now we're gonna take our steak off. We're gonna place this on a piece of paper towel just to kind of pat dry the oil. We're gonna paint some Dijon mustard on. So we just took panko breadcrumb and we add a little parsley leaf, a little chive, put it in a food processor and made a little green breadcrumb. Mustard on the other side. Once we have our steak crusted, we're gonna finish this in the oven, 350 degrees, 400 for about 3 to 4 minutes. Beautiful. Let's look at that color. Nice golden toasted. Let's see what it looks like inside. And there you go. Perfect medium rare. Now up to my favorite steak, the crescent, AKA the market steak, AKA the surprise steak. Best way to cook this, pan seared, the classic way. When it comes to beef, you gotta make sure you season your beef properly. So, coarse salt and coarse pepper. Nice even distribution of salt, even distribution of pepper on both sides. We're just gonna sear this steak. So it's completely raw now, but it's so thin that it's just a quick sear and it should cook just as beautiful as that medium rare in a short time. Once our pan is hot, we're gonna add a little oil. We're gonna drop our steaks on just so we hear that nice sizzle. Push it down a little, and all we're doing is searing the sides. Now we want to sear for about 2 to 3 minutes for medium rare on both sides. So if you want to do a medium, I would do 4 to 6 minutes. If you want to do a medium well, I would go a little bit 8 to 9. If you don't hear that sizzle, you're not doing it right. The pan's not hot enough. Okay guys, it's time to flip. As you can see, you got that nice beautiful crust. That's the Maillard effect. Now we're gonna do the other side. 2 to 3 more minutes and we're good to go. Let's pull it off. I like to let my meat rest, especially if you didn't sous vide it. You want your steak to stop its cooking and we're gonna let it cool and then all the juices are gonna go back into its meat. Our steak is nicely rested. Now we're gonna slice it up. The trick is against the grain. You can see the differences between sous vide steak, seared steak, and there you have it. You have your sous vide eye and your seared crescent. At Terracer, we don't serve steak alone. So let's bring back some of the prior dishes that we made in these other videos. Our cauliflower puree, our pickled tomatoes, and our smoked mushroom sauce. First, we start off with our cauliflower puree. Some of our pickled tomatoes. Some of our steak. some of our smoked mushroom sauce. And we're gonna spruce it up with a little kale. And there you have it, guys. We have our cauliflower puree, our pickled tomatoes, our smoked mushroom sauce, our sous vide Spencer, and our seared crescent. Enjoy.